Hi, I'm Tim Gibson. I'm going to talk to you about taping and mudding drywall. Now, this is something that's very easy for anybody to do with a little bit of practice. The important thing is as we're applying the mud or the joint compound or the drywall is that we want to make sure that we use successive thin coats. The thinner the coat, then the better the finish and the less sanding that we have to do at the end. Now, we've got a joint here that we'll just demonstrate on. This is typically where we're going to tape and mud, is on these joints here. And this could be whether you're making a repair or just finishing a crack where you put up some new drywall. Now the first tape we can use is this fiberglass tape that has a little bit of adhesive on the back of it. So when we're using that, what we're going to do is we're just going to stick that directly over the joint and press it down, and that little bit of adhesive will hold it in place. Take some of our joint compound, and again we'll just put a layer right over the top of it, and then once we have that layer on, then we want to come back with about a 6-inch broad knife such as this, and we want to just pull that across the tape so that we get a nice tapered finish. Now if you're doing a large area, the important step is to go ahead and clean that drywall off, and whenever you start going over your tape with the drywall joint compound on it, start with a clean knife. So use another scraper like this to put it back into your pan. And that way it makes sure that you don't get any bumps, you get a nice smooth finish when you're always using a clean knife. Now if we're using the paper tape, which is a traditional method, then what we want to do is we want to work a coating of mud down into the joint, and then we'll press the tape down in it. And then once that tape is in there, now we'll take our broad knife and we'll set that tape down into the mud. And again, what you want to do is you want to make sure you're left with a nice thin coat that is tapered all the way across your joint. We'll let this dry 24 hours, either method. Then we'll come back and we'll put another thin coat on it that's a little bit wider. Let it dry another 24 hours, put another thin coat that's a little wider, and then we'll evaluate the finish, and there might just be a little light sanding at that point. But again, remember, use thin coats and wait 24 hours between coats and you'll get a good finish. I'm Tim Gibson, and that's how to tape and mud drywall.